And just to say, I take my colleagues' time if they're running late. First of all, I want to welcome the debate on this issue, as I have on many other occasions, and to acknowledge Deputy Sherlock for bringing it forward. Also, I want to acknowledge how appreciative I am of participating in the debate. I remind my opposition colleagues that you fought tooth and nail to exclude backbenchers from participating in private members' bills being brought forward by opposition. But on the day that's in it, let's be collegiate. The reason I say that is because it's very important that people from different perspectives contribute on this debate. And I thought Deputy Kelly's contribution earlier on was really important because he talked about going on a journey. And there's lots of people that we need to expose them to the medical evidence. We need to expose them to the work of the Citizens' Assembly and to the Joint Oireachtas Committee. And there's a huge body of work, and I thought Deputy O'Donoghue's contribution was very important as well. We can have a law and order approach on this and also have a compassionate, health-led and, I believe, decriminalised approach to the possession of personal drugs. Because the people who are the problem here are the people who are trafficking, selling, manufacturing large quantities of drugs, making millions and millions of euro out of it and exploiting people with an addiction. One of the things I thought was most informative from the Joint Oireachtas Committee was the Portuguese police contribution, who said that they had more of their time was now available to tackle those drug gangs and those people selling drugs in large numbers as a result of not prosecuting small personal possession. Now, the Minister talked about the Department's position on this, and I actually in some ways wish the Joint Oireachtas Committee engagement had happened in advance of this debate, and I think we can tease things out at the committee. The difficulty with not removing the criminal sanction, and let's be clear, Paul Reid said that the Citizens' Assembly was clear it wished to remove the possession of drugs from the criminal justice system. That's what Paul Reid said, and he was very clear. If we leave any element of discretion on that principle, I believe we leave ourselves in a very difficult position and we don't move forward on it. If, for example, we leave with the power of Gardaí the ability to have some discretion as to whether some type of people would be prosecuted or other types of people wouldn't, then I believe that we put an unfairness and an injustice at the heart of our drugs policy. We should have an approach where we decriminalise the person and not legalise the substance. And I think if we did that, we would be able to progress a very strong health-led approach. Now, I welcome the wording in the programme for government. Citywide, the very respected organisation also welcomed that wording. But I think there is an expectation that we do exactly what Paul Reid says, that we remove the criminal justice system from the possession of drugs. Now, whatever system comes forward on that, I believe we can't leave any type of discretion with individual Gardaí. And the reason I say that is you'd say, well, surely you leave that discretion with the local Gardaí. And the answer is that in different communities, and we've talked about how you label communities in here, in different communities, drugs policy will be policed differently. So in some areas, there will be Gardaí that might penalise people who might be sleeping homeless. They might decide that they're going to penalise working class communities that have very high levels of drug sale when you might have the same level of drug use in middle class communities. We can't leave an element of discretion in the law. We wouldn't do it in other areas. And I've seen it compared, for example, with the decriminalisation of sex workers. We put the criminal sanction on the person procuring the service, not the person selling it. Imagine we had said, but we leave a discretion so that the person who was selling the service might be prosecuted or might not. It doesn't work. If we believe that a vulnerable person has an addiction, we should not have criminal justice involved in that. We should only have health-led approaches. So I would urge the Minister to examine that section as you go into the Joint Oireachtas Committee to examine and tease out all of the provisions. The Citizens' Assembly, the Joint Oireachtas Committee made clear that they wanted to repeal Section 3, but it must be replaced in my view. And they also made clear that point about removing the criminal justice system from possession itself. The key people here that we have to target are people who are selling drugs, who are exploiting people, who have trauma, exploiting people who are living in poverty, exploiting people who perhaps tried this on a recreational basis and became addicted because of other factors. Deputy Tobin said that makes it easier for parents to dissuade people from taking drugs use by it being illegal. If Deputy Tobin was correct, we would not have the drugs problem we have at the moment. That's the policy we tried in 1977, and I would urge us to continue to work on this issue, because I think there's a lot of cross-party work on it, and I acknowledge Deputy Aon O'Riordan, who worked on it as well.